Hi everybody, I'm Randy Ridings, and this is the Quadyak Coast to Coast. In 2013, my father and I built a human-powered amphibious velomobile. In 2018, I started a trip from the West Coast in Oregon, headed towards the East Coast. This playlist is a series of videos that will detail that trip. Each video will cover about a 10-day 200 to 400 mile leg of this trip. I'm glad to have you with me and hope you follow along to the end.
Hey everybody, this is Randy Ridings with the Quadyak Coast to Coast. Restarting the trip in Oxford, Kansas on the 6th of August 2019. I am back at the Arkansas River where I left off. This is where I got out of the river last year. You see the river's moving along pretty good, so I don't anticipate the problems I was having last year with having to pull over sandbars a lot. I have launched. Right behind me, you'll see the bridge at Oxford. Meanwhile, I'm going down the river at 4 miles an hour. I decided to take a short break, a little over the 1 hour mark, and check drift speed, 1.8 miles an hour. I'm seeing 4.3. That's my 2.5 miles an hour. One other thing of note is that I did not have to bail anything from this boat till after an hour. So I'm very happy with my new windscreen. Brake is about done. Take 20 minutes or so every 2 hours. Paddling in the water like this is not like land. I mean, I can go for hour after hour on land, but water has so much more resistance to it. Burning about 350 calories per mile I traveled. My heart rate's been up around the 135 mark for this 2 hours. A couple of times when I sprinted through some stuff, I saw 170. I'm going to try to get it back to where it's sitting around, 120 all day long. This bridge behind me is the road to Gouda Springs, Kansas. I've done 17 miles in just under 5 hours. Good morning. It is August 7th. Day 2. I made 20 miles yesterday. I'm just outside of Ark City, Kansas. I'm going to get on the river as soon as I can and get as much done in the cool of the day. Okay, I need to pay attention. There's some huge structure right around this corner. Here's a closer view of this debris pile and this bridge. It's really quite a pretty bridge. Look at the kind of balustrades up there. Ooh, hit this little bit of sandbar there. We had some damage out here. I got another bridge that looks completely out, and then there's all kinds of stuff, debris down in the river. Well, that wasn't fun. I had one place. I had to duck through that tiny little opening right there. That was the only place that was open for me. So because of these storms kicking up around here, right now I am in a heck of a headwind. That is a lot of wind. Well, I'm out of the wind, out of the storm cell, I guess. 14 miles in 4 hours, so doing 3.5 miles an hour. So, new state down. Entered Oklahoma on the Arkansas River. So, that's Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Nebraska, Kansas. All I got is Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. I'm right at 25 miles today, and I think I may have hit the very top of the Caw Reservoir. I'm actually getting whitecaps out here now. Hanging to this right wall, you can see the track that isn't getting quite as much turbulence as what's out there. I gotta find somewhere to camp and hope that this calms down by morning. If I could get on the other side, I see that the far side does not have nearly the waves because the wind's coming from over there, and I could hang to that tree line. That means crossing that, which I think I can do. And I'm through the worst of it. Took it at a 3/4 angle and just kept pushing through it. I hit some of those whitecaps full on. thing never ceases to amaze me how stable it is, even in stuff like that. This is end of day, Wednesday, August 7th. Second day of this. I made about 30 miles in about 10 hours. All this is public, so camping is not a problem. I pulled the Quadyak up as far as I could. It's pretty much stuck in the mud there. Good morning. It is August 8th, day 3. There is wind blowing hard and intermittent rainstorms. Launch at 11 o'clock. I had a little break in the rain, so I packed everything up, and it started raining again right as I was launching. So at about 5.5 miles, I reached this. But I went up there because I saw what was unmistakably signs of a park. It is a closed down campground. It is destroyed. There is trees, debris everywhere. All the roads are covered with about an inch of mud. Roofs of picnic table things were washed away. There had to have been 10 feet of water over the top of this campground. I can still see the waves out there, and so it'd still be kind of rough. So instead of trying to fight that, I'm going to get back in. I'm going to ride around to the boat ramp. I'm going to reconfigure this for road travel. I'm a couple of miles, 10 from the dam. Made it to the boat ramp. So there's a dock, a ramp, a pay station. There's a little bit of a destroyed building over there. I assume this is where the marina was. This is what a destroyed Oklahoma park looks like. This is my new setup with the pontoons on the back. I have never tested this. I find the best time to test something is when it absolutely has to work or you're just hosed. I saw a truck go all the way across the water, which meant I'm looking at the dam. That is Caw City. I actually saw the word Caw on the tower through my monocular. All right. Well, everything seems good. So all this black stuff that looks like tarmac is actually about 1/2 inch of mud. All right, I might just camp here tonight as late as it's getting. I worked my way back site after site until I found this one. This is like the only dry patch of anything at this campsite. The water did not go down too recently, and it rained here less than a week ago, like 7 more inches. This is happening all over the country. That flooding started in February and went for months and just destroyed so many things. There's not even anybody working on this yet. I mean, because there's no money for it. This would be federal money, and they had to work on, oh, this dam got damaged, this bridge got damaged, and all those kind of things before they ever get to these campgrounds. Something like this might be closed down for a couple of years. Who knows? So when I was picking campsites, I originally was looking at that one right there until I realized that it was just all mud. There was no good place to put a sleeping bed or a tent. So I pulled around the next one, and I was like, oh, okay, it's got a shelter, the roof's still on it, and it is. What I didn't realize, though, is that 2 of the beams have fallen down. Good morning. It is 6:30 on the 9th of August. I just heard my first big thunderstorm, thunderclap. There's another one. So, yeah, we're supposed to have a storm come in. So it's 9 o'clock on the 9th. The rain is just letting up. I would go out now, except, man, there are a lot of gnats and mosquitoes out there. A little after 10. And now I get to figure out just how difficult it's going to be to get out of here. Let's see if I drag over these sticks. Yeah, there's a closed and locked gate up here. So now I got to get around this. I decided I would try to ride through that gate, pedaling this thing. So much easier than lifting 200 pounds and wheeling it around. As it turns out, I rode through the whole thing. Yet another roadblock. I think I'm actually going to move some of that out of the way, and then I'll put it back. Holy crud, I was not expecting that. That's a hill. Yeah, that was a hill. So I got out and pushed. Strain like that on my mechanism is not a good thing. I've climbed some bad hills, and I've sheared bolt. I've not used my inhaler yet on this whole trip. But kind of thinking about it now. Behind me is Bill on the left. He's kind of hooked me up here at the Lakeview campground right above the Caw Dam. I got here It took about 3 hours to get here. Did about 10 miles on the road. I've been here for over an hour now. Bill called the local newspapers and they came down and interviewed me. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, so I won't get on the water till like 5. I'll probably do like 3 hours downriver or so and find a place to camp. All right, crossing Caw Dam. Caw Lake Reservoir on my left, Arkansas River on my right. Okay, and that is Caw Dam, and this is the Arkansas River. There's a boat ramp right there. So let me show you this ramp. It's pretty steep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to leave the wheels on. And then I'm going to just take it over to that beach and put the pontoons on. Alright, so she sits a little low with the pontoons the way they are now. I'll film this. I can't even see it back there. It is stable left to right. It's not tipping. Reconfigured back with the pontoons on. It is 4:51, so I did that in under an hour. So they're releasing from the dam. Everybody kept saying, oh, it'll be faster down there, and I'm like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. So far, I'm getting some speed. 6 miles in an hour and 20 minutes, so I am moving along pretty good. I'll just sit here for a second and look at drift speed. It's about 3.2, which makes sense because I've been seeing about 5.5. I've been seeing this building approach for a while, just south of Ponca City. Well, would that be fun to camp overnight in, or just really, really creepy? Good morning. It is August the 10th, day 12 miles below Caw Lake Reservoir near Ponca City, Oklahoma. Ended up making a little over 25 miles yesterday, land and water combined. Got in the campsite right as the sun was going down, just found me a sandbar. Alright, so I've been going about an hour and I made 3 miles. As the wind has kicked back up. So 7 hours on the water today, 21.6 miles. There's a little raccoon. Stopped at a place, started to walk up the hill, look for a place, and these guys came to greet me. Took me up to a barn, met the lady there, she gave me water, and I think they're all heading back to the house. They all came down to greet me. You guys better go home. So people ask me what I do when I run into dogs on the road. Well, mostly I make friends with them. They're all sweeties. You guys, you want me to throw that ball, don't you? All right, I'll throw the ball. You want me to throw it? You want me to throw it for you? You want me to throw it for you? I'll throw it. All right, go. Yeah, and you too. You just want pet. Whoops, sorry. You just want pet. You just want pet. You want pet, and the German Shepherd wants pet. You guys are all good. You're all good boys. All right, I'll throw it one more time. Oh, don't bite his head. Okay, drop the ball. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. You know what that means. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. So give me the ball. Give me the ball. No. I can't throw it if you don't give it to me. All right, goofies. All right. I better get back on the river. See you guys. You should go home. Go home. I'm going over a sandbar, but I'm still making forward progress up to that point. But really what I wanted to show you is I've always wanted my own oil rig. I just got to tow it out of here, I guess. I guess that's a permanent structure. It's wrapped in debris right now. This is the first sandbar I have hung up on in days. I made 33.8 miles in 10.5 hours. The next day, it's going to be about 10 degrees hotter. It was only like 90 today. It's supposed to be 100 the next 2 days. I will be taking it easier. But what I'm going to try to do is get up way earlier and get going. Good morning. It is Sunday the 11th, 7:30 in the morning. Day 6. Ralston, Oklahoma is 20 miles ahead of me. That should be right around the 6-hour mark. Puts me at like 1:30 in the afternoon. Then just take a long midday break in the heat of the day. One of the significances to Ralston is that's the gauging station I've been checking for months, because it was, you know, about halfway or so between Oxford and Tulsa. USGS gauging stations measure the height of the water, the speed of the water. And the one at Ralston was showing 30,000 cubic feet per second for the longest time. normal for this time of year is like 4 to 7. I was really hoping for like 15. You know, like double the height and double the speed would be perfect for me. Make this thing into a racetrack and just fly. There is Mama Duck doing the lame wing thing because there are the little babies. There's the Mama Duck again. She swam over to intercept me to do her little act again. Wanted to make sure I keep my focus on her. Came out to 17.6 miles in 4.5 hours to Ralston. So I'm on the right side of the bridge. There is a pullout and a little road on the other side. I kind of owe it to myself to see if I can't walk into town this way. So well, that didn't take long. Right past that set of uprights, there is a stagnant swamp. Let me count the ways I hate you. Mosquitoes, leeches, snakes. Okay, we're done. So I get to relaunch and go across. I'm gonna have to really fight for about 15-20 minutes to get this right. Luckily there's a sandbar right. If there's no sandbar there, it might actually be impossible to do this. Well, I made it. And that, like I thought, was I get a fight for my life. So I got all the way up at the far peak of that sandbar, as far up as I could, and I started out and I was like, yep, this is going great, but the current is cutting left to right, and it grabbed me and started to take me back out. And then it was just fight, and I saw that there was this pool here. I got out of the current and into this back pool, just popped right in here after that. Well, I made it into Ralston. I was feeling a little ill there for a while. Just that one hard push to get across the river. Not a lot going on in Ralston. Let me give you a little panoramic here. There's a fire department over there, and fire department truck over there, and closed up shop, and I think that's the police department there. And there was an ice and water thing, and their water tank, but and no store, but what I did find is the Ralston Corner Cafe. Had a sandwich and some fries, and she took my water packs back in the back and filled them all up. It's 2 in the afternoon. I'm gonna go back to the river 4:30, 5 o'clock, get in, go till, probably close to sundown. Today's the last hot day that's gonna drop back, so I got one more hot night. So the first place I landed was right over there. This is this swamp. I would have had to cross mud field and debris patch and then on up to get up here. The only reason I even made it across is because I cut way up into that bay. Oh, there she is. Yeah, I got like a 15-20 mile an hour wind and it's 100 degrees. So it's just ridiculous to even try to paddle through this. I'm just going to drift it. Okay, I've actually sped up to 5 miles an hour. If I was pedaling through this, I'd be doing like 7.5, 8. That one sprint I had to do today really took it out of me to the point where I started feeling ill. Once that happens, you really need to just take it easy the rest of the day. Lots of water. Don't push yourself anymore that day. It's heat stroke, nothing to mess around with. I've done 1 hour and I've done 2.4 miles. Well, I saw 5 and 6 miles an hour, which I can't believe I saw drifting. There's also a period where I got a fairly big placid pool that was doing 1.1 miles an hour, and I took a little nap for 5 minutes. Anybody thinking I'm cheating by using the current of the rivers on an amphibious crossing, I would like to remind you that I started at sea level. So every foot that I get to drop on this river is a foot that I climbed in the Rockies. So I set up that potential energy, and now I'm getting to use that kinetic energy. So hour 2 of the drift test, 4.5 miles total. Creepy vulture tree. Good morning, August 12th, day 7. Here's something kind of interesting. When I pulled up, I was on dry land. I think the water level is coming up just slightly. If it's going up, it's also speeding up. Ended up making about 27 miles yesterday total. 4 hours of that was just drifting. I might do some of that today when the heat of the day hits. Here's a hazard of early morning starts. I'm going right into the sun and I can't see hazards. There's a grandma there asleep with his head tucked under his wing. Okay, just over 7 miles in just under 2 hours. At the bridge for, I think it's Burbank. You come whipping down that thing, but there's a little pool. So I went into Burbank, topped up all my water. This is their bridge. It is out of service. Apparently on the other side of it, the road's washed off. There's an 80-foot hole, which is now a swimming hole. What used to be a 10-minute drive, these folks is an hour drive because they can't drive across this bridge. It looks like I should be about 22 miles from Cleveland. They said the current goes pretty much all the way there. Only about 10 in the morning. If it was noon, I would probably stop here. They got a nice little setups, picnic tables and places to shade, and this is where people come to take out if they float from Ralston here, which is like right at 15 miles. Leaving Burbank about 11 o'clock. The river's moving along pretty good. So I'm gonna shoot for Cleveland. That's getting pretty close to the Tulsa area. 7 miles down from Burbank in 2 hours. Whew. Yeah, it is officially hot. I'm getting a bit kind of woozy feeling and rumbly and the tumbly feeling, and I swear I know the origin of the phrase drifting off now. Having a hard time keeping my eyes open. So I've done 12 miles in 4.5 hours. I've been drifting at about 2 miles an hour. So I got about another hour of drifting. Hope the wind doesn't kick up too much at the end as I enter the reservoir. Last time we got into one of these reservoirs, I got into a place where I couldn't land anywhere because there were just 6 foot of mud banks. So I'm gonna head over here, pick a place on this sandbar over here and land and take my last break because I might be in the reservoir. What they say in Apocalypse Now? Never get off the boat. I barely got back in this boat. I went up to my knees, almost lost my boots, and there is the bridge. When I got an hour and a half to set up camp, turns into, got 15 minutes to beat that storm that's been behind me for a while, but I didn't know it because I didn't turn around. This is probably going to be signing off. It's 8 o'clock at night on the 12th. I did 22 miles after Burbank. I did 7 up to that, or I ended up doing 29. This boat ramp is just a muddy mess. I don't think I can land there, but there's pavement and then there's 50 feet of just mud and pools of water. Good morning. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning on the 13th. Being as this is day 8, I have completed 1 week of this leg. Last night was a weird night. I camped on this sandbar a couple feet above the water as I try to do. When I got here, there was a whole tree. Through the wind last night, just branch after branch after branch has come down. Luckily the wind was going that way. And then at some point, something hits the side of my tent. Flap. And then scrabble. It almost seemed like maybe like a raccoon or something touched the side of the tent and it was like scratching at it. So what I normally do in that case is just hit the side of the tent. Hey! And usually animals, if they know there's a human involved, they're just gone. So then it happens again. Flap. Scrabble. Turn my headlight. Unzipped it. Foot away is a spider it wasn't a tarantula, I don't think. It didn't have that body type, but the leg span on that thing was like that big. And he jumped on the side of the tent and was scrabbling his way up. Okay. Okay, a successful launch at 7:30 in the morning. Right around this corner, there's a bridge, and right after the bridge, there's a campground. And since the rain has just started again, I didn't eat last night, I didn't eat this morning. Haven't had coffee, so I'm gonna stop. Well, I found the campsite, but I made 3 miles down to here, which means I should only have like 17 or less, which means I can do that today. 11 o'clock is gonna be thunderstorms, and then it's gonna be nice for the rest of the day. All right, straight up noon on the 12th. I should be 10-12 miles away from the next campground. I'm just gonna go down the middle of this thing. This is Keystone Reservoir. This is a little different kind of pedaling because you have no current to help you, so you just have to pedal the whole time. Quit pedaling, you stop moving. This thing went glass smooth, exactly what I wanted. I've gone an hour and I've gone 2.1 miles. I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna try to land somewhere here in these rocks. Well, that worked. I'm right at 3 hours and 6.3 miles. So I'm gonna walk around on the rocks a little bit. Take 15-20 minutes to enjoy the scenery here. This is really pretty. Look at this. Old gnarly tree trunks. This rock that's been weathered away over the years. This is where you watch for snakes. I am not fully recovered from yesterday. All of a sudden I went a little dry mouth and lightheaded and out of breath, and so that means more water, more electrolytes, and maybe a little snack. Well, it was nice. Took a half-hour break. It was just kind of nice sitting up on the rocks and enjoying the day. Just went over 5 hours and 9.3 miles. I am really close to this headland where I'll turn, and I think the campground might just be right over there. All right, so I am here, and it is 7:40, which means I got about an hour of daylight. And I got a campsite, but it's way up there. So launch this thing, go around, go to a boat ramp over there, haul this thing up, put the wheels on it, and ride it up. Well, I'm in. So some park rangers came by and were curious about the Quadyak, and they left, came back 15 minutes later, brought me a Coke, brought me Gatorade, brought me some ice. That's pretty cool of them. Good morning. It's Wednesday the 14th, day 9. And I'm at the Washington Irving Campground on Keystone Lake, and today is going to be kind of a slow day. I'm going to move from here down to a pier, marina about 3 miles away. It's right at the dam. It's also right on Highway 51 that allows me to make a quick shot tomorrow from the marina down 51 to Sand Springs, Oklahoma, get on the bike trail there. Takes me to the Tulsa bike trail and around the Lowhead Dam there. Since I had to get out at the dam here anyway, and then there's this other Lowhead Dam less than 20 miles away, I figured I'll just transition over to road wheels, and then tomorrow first thing take off. So today's gonna be like 3 miles of movement, but still getting a lot of stuff done. So not a lot of miles today. And I'm going to count this as kind of my mid-trip down day. Today's day 9. I've budgeted like 20 days for this trip, so I'm kind of at the midway point. And this is a good day to take down. I've had a few bad days with the heat. Tomorrow will probably be a pretty rough day with all the road traffic and all that kind of stuff and all the hassles that can bring. There you go. And I think this beach might just be set up where I can dry-foot it out of here, which would be nice. That is the Keystone Lake Bridge, and you go through it and you turn left, and the Keystone Lake Dam is about as far from it as I am from the bridge. I'm up for a lazy paddle boat ride today. I never get to do that, just boop-a-doop-a-doop. So come under the bridge, and there's the dam, which means I have pretty much traversed the length of Keystone Lake, which roughly 25 miles. Alright, 2 hours on the nose. The dam is back there. The bridge should be directly behind me. I've done 3.6 miles, 1.8 miles an hour. Basically no rests, no breaks. Alright, so there's the ramp. Here are the primitive campsites. Okay, I pulled in here. Okay. It's up here, it's in the shade, it's got wheels on it. And I'm going to drop this axle this time. It's about time that gets tested. Good morning, it is Thursday the 15th of August 2019. It is day 10. Keystone State Park, right near the dam. Leaving today to go around Tulsa, hoping to make it to Bixby, Oklahoma today, which is about 35 miles away. Alright, I got everything packed. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Out on Highway 51, heading to Sand Springs. Arkansas River from the bridge going into Sand Springs. All I gotta do is about a half a mile up here to a corner, and I'm on the bike trails for the rest of the day until I get back in the water. Alright, the trail at Sand Springs. Just under 3 hours, 12.6 miles. Shouldn't have any more than about a 10-mile trip on this before I get back in the river. I was told there was a bridge over the railroad tracks. I made the corner back there. I hope I can make the corner up here. Alright, I believe I'm officially on the Riverside Trail now. In Tulsa, this geese, get out of the way! Get out of the way, guys! I really don't want them getting pissed off and attacking me. This is the real reason I hit this trail. It doesn't look bad from this side. I'll show it to you from the other side. And here's the other side of this. You see the hydraulics and the drop off and all that coming around. That's what you don't want to go over. Okay, I'm at the 41st Street Pavilion in Tulsa. So in a few minutes I'm going to pack up and I'm going to go and I'm going to launch. Quick scouting trip first, and what was a near perfect launch a couple of days ago is now a meh with a side order of suck. This was 3 feet higher. I gotta get it down those rocks. I'm gonna walk it and see. Really rather get it to here if I could. I don't want to come across this sludge pond, and I think maybe I can do it by skirting that edge. Who would have thought that the easiest part of that would be getting it down that hill? It was getting around here. All right, I'm launched at Tulsa. About 5:30 in the afternoon. I-44, downtown Tulsa, right there. On my way to Bixby. I'm hoping to meet up with my cousin Wendy there.
Join me in the next video where I post the next leg of this trip. You can also follow along on the Quadyak's Facebook page and check out my other Quadyak videos in the other playlist that shows how we built it and other trips I've done with it. Or if you just want to support me and the trip and my videos and future projects, you can visit my Patreon page. Please check that out. Put a link below so you can find that and support me. I hope you do. Thank you very much. I'm Randy Ridings, and this is the Quadyak Coast to Coast Trip.